Before we start, last week we said a pshat that the Rebbe said that Rashi tells us in the story that Yosef had atzlocha, that in the house of Potiphar, and that there was Hashem atzliach biyodei. Rashi says, how do we know that? Because Shem Shemaim Shogeg B'piv. Yosef always spoke about Hashem. What do I have to do with the other? So the Rebbe's pshat was that how would a goy know that atzlocha is from the Eibishter? Meila by Avimelech, the Eibishter came to the middle of his dream. Meila by Yitzchak was a Shona kosher, and it was an Eretz kosher, and it was a miracle. His field, there was a me'apalmim grew, and everyone field grew. It's 0. So they saw it was from the Eibishter. But how does he? It's in his. How does he know Zatzlocha? So because always Muslims sagen that Yosef was Shem Shemayim Shogeg B'piv. He said, Yosef, great job. How did you get it? How did you sell? Instead of 10 pieces, you sold 1,000. How did you do that? He said, Baruch Hashem. Hey, how did you get the electric bill down to 50%? Chazdei Hashem. What's going on? Maintenance is so much cheaper. Everything was Shem Shemayim Shogeg B'piv. So even though this guy was Mitzrayim was place of Avodah Zorah, but when Yosef was always saying Shem Shemayim, and he saw that Sloch is coming through Yosef, so he knew that Hashem Matzliach B'yodei.
He was Mekarev him without Mekarev.
And then the next week the Rebbe said that people asked the question. So then the Rebbe said, but later when he was in the Beis Hasurim, it doesn't say that the Beis Hasurim that the Mamuna saw. Yeah, why? It doesn't say that. So people ask, so why? So the Rebbe said, what's the shaila? Potiphar was hanging out where? In his house. So in Mela there was always Hatzlochas. He kept on saying, Yosef, what's going on? He always said Shem Shemayim. He always said it's from the Eibishter. But the guy that was running the jail in Mitzrayim, what do you think? He was sitting in the pit? Just tell me he had a fancy office somewhere in an office building on the 23rd floor. He went up with a glass elevator and he sat there. Halamai, he had Mesharsav, Hashem Mesharsav. They ran the board. But he wasn't there all day to see what's going on by Yosef. Kol Shekin, he wasn't talking to Yosef. You're going to ask him, "Ooh, wow, such a tzlocha, everything is in order." So we know that there was Hashem Atzliach, but only by Potiphar, it was that Potiphar knew it, and that's why only by Potiphar, Rashi says, Hashem Shemayim Shogeg B'piv. Let's go to what we're learning tonight. Last week we spoke about the difference of Brocha and Atzlocha. And this week we're going to talk about the difference of Brocha and Tefillah. Let's look at the story here in this parshas Mikatz. Here, Shmulik. And Yom Kotzer, V'Malochem Aruba. So let's read quickly here. In this week's parshas Mikatz, Bereshis, right in the beginning of Perek Mem Gimel. V'Arov Kovet Ba'oretz. They go to Mitzrayim. And they meet Adonai Oretz, and he's diber them kosher, and he says meraglim atem. They say no, we're not meraglim. We have another. We lost a brother. We're looking for a brother. He said, oh, you got another brother? How many brothers? He said, 2 brothers. One. The other brother's home. Bring me the other brother, and then I know you're that kainim atem, and that's everything is good. Come back. They say to Yaakovinu, we have to go back with the brother. Yaakovinu says, sorry. Oisi shekaltem, beyond shekaltem. As she says, he adds a little chad that things are not kosher with the shvotim. He said, no, he's not going. So Yehuda said, you know what? You know what? Once the hunger pain set in, we'll deal with it. And that's finally where we get to this parsha. Harov kovet ba'oretz, v'hikash akilu lechel as hashever shavim mitzrayim, v'loim elam aviyim, shuv shivrilonu matoich. V'emar elov Yehuda leimer, hoed heid bono ish leimer, lo yisir upon bilti achichem mitchem. Yehuda said that the man told us that don't see my face without your brother Binyamin. Im yeshcha mishalech achinu mitonu neirda v'nishbira locha. If you're going to send Binyamin with us, we will go. We will buy food. If you're not sending, we're not going to go.
Why twice you call him Ish? Not Hamashbir, the head of Mitzrayim. Why Ish?
They didn't think that he was the greatest man in the world. What should they call him?
Make different. He's in charge.
They're not interested in giving him accolades right now. So Yaakov says, why did you do such a bad thing for me? That you're putting me through such pain. Why did you tell him that you have a brother? It seemed all innocent. He just asked us questions. It didn't seem like there was anything to be scared of. Based on his questions, we told him the truth. How shall we know that he's going to tell us that we should bring our brother down? We just answered the questions honestly. What should we think? In the 70s, one of Anasha came from Russia. So someone in Crown Heights was taking him to the immigration to do the papers. So they asked him, how old is he? So they translate. He says, they want to know how old you are. The guy says, what should I say? 10 years älter or the 10 years younger? What should I say? 10 years older, 10 years younger? It didn't occur to him that you could actually say the truth here in the United States of America. They said, what do you want? They said to Yaakov Avinu, how should we know that there's something there? He asked us questions, we gave answers. We answered based on the questions. How should we know there'll be a calamity? From based on our answers, that now he's going to say, bring your brothers. Send them with me. Well, otherwise we'll die. If you send them with me, there's a chances things will turn out good. But if you don't, we're all going to die for sure. I bound myself to this, that I am a ordev to bring back, I guarantee to bring back my brother. Had we not held ourselves back, if we not waited so long to return to Mitzrayim, we could have went and come back twice. Twice we could have gone and come back, and we had plenty to eat. So Yaakov said, you know what, I acquiesce. If that's the case, this is what you should do. Take from the special fruits of this land, bring him a gift. Bring me a little box with, a nice holiday box. Go down to O'Nuts on Avenue J and get yourself a nice little box, a gift. Wrap it up nicely. The kesef mishne k'chu b'yetchem v'as hakesef amushev b'pi am techesechem toshiva v'yetchem ula mishgehu. Take double money, and the money that you found in your bags, bring it back. Who knows, it might be a mistake. Take your brother and return to the man.
Why it's ulai mishgehu? It's a mishgehu. What do you mean ulai? You know your kids, they didn't steal.
No, maybe it's because maybe it's not a mishka. Maybe it's a gift. Maybe it's a gift. Maybe it's a gift. And if it's a gift, there's no point to returning the money. But he said maybe it's a mistake, so bring back the money. You should have rachmim. You should send them. Rashi says that these words are not so clear. We're not going to go into this Rashi in detail, but we'll get to it at the end. That this was sort of a nevuah that Yaakov didn't even realize what he's saying. Is that the other brother, which is Yosef HaTzadik, will also be found with this voyage.
Shimon was in jail.
Oh, and that will also come back. There's Binyamin will also come back. Vani kasher shacholti shacholti. Okay, he said that I'm lost. So the people took the gift. They took the extra money, the double money. Look at Rashi. You're not lacking anything. Only tefillah. So I'm praying for you. What's the prayer? Kel shaka shadai benesin that there's enough of his rachmanas. There's no end to his rachmanas. Like Alter Rebbe says in Tanya, a person if you do something bad to someone, and he says, okay, he forgives you. You do it to him again, he forgives you. Third time, fourth time, he says, "Ginuk shine." But the Rebbeinu Shalom was blig vul. You could sin to the Eibishter 100 times, you get 1,000 times, and there's no limit to his rachmanas. Yochanan Marsov loyach. The roiv doesn't mean a certain amount. It's blig vul. A person could sin 1,000 times, and after sinning 999 times, it comes one more time he sins, and he comes to the Rebbeinu Shalom. He says, "Slach lanu avinu ki chatonu." It's not like a human being. He slapped him 1,000 times. They're going to go say sorry. The Rebbeinu Shalom is blig vul as rachman. Shadai ben sinas rachmav. There's enough of his rachmanas. In other words, there's no end of the episode of rachmanas. And he has no end of yochaylos to give. A human being, he can give. How much can he give already? He'll give you a donation. I'll give you 25 cents. I'll give you $1. He'll give you $5. Generous, he'll give you $25. But the Rebbeinu Shalom, he can give, believe, vul, mamash. Yitalachem rachem. Zo pshuta. This is the pashta pshat. Wow, this is not bad for a pashta pshat. So that's Kelshe Midrashe Misha Amar Lo'olam Dai Yoimer L'Tzoroi Seidai Shalo Shakatatim and Ure. The Eibusha should finally say enough to my tzaras. Tzaras Lavan, Tzaras Esav, Tzaras Rachel, Tzaras Dina, Tzaras Yosef, Tzaras Shimon, Tzaras Benyamin. The Eibusha should finally put an end to all my tzaras. And Takazoi, that's what happened at the end. This was the end of his tzaras. And Taka V'Shilach, Rashi says later, V'Shilachem Echechem Acher, that now Binyamin was found. Also, Yosef was found. What is Rashi trying to say? What's bothering? Obviously, something's bothering here in the pasuk. So. The pashta pshat that the Meforshim say that is not so clear here in the pasuk is he saying a bracha or a tefillah? Which one is he saying? Which one is he saying over here? What's he saying over here? There's two things. There's a bracha and there's a tefillah. A bracha, when you give a bracha, tzaddik gives a bracha. So first of all, who do you talk to when you give a bracha? You talk to the person who receives the bracha. The kohanim give the bracha. They talk to the Rebbeinu Shalom, to the Jews. To the Jews, right? Tefillah, who are you talking to? The Jews or to the Rebbeinu Shalom? It's a different address. Tefillah is you're talking to the Rebbeinu Shalom. Bracha, you're talking to the Yid. So here is, what is Rashi saying, B'chlal? The Nishra Rashi says that in the pasuk it tells me that Yaakov Avinu said, "V'kel shaka yitel lechem rachem lifnei ish." Lochem, he's telling them. Sounds like he's giving them a haftocha, a brocha. But the Rashi says it's a tefillah. He's davening to the Eibusha. Which one is he doing? Is he doing tefillah or is he doing a brocha? Is he giving them a brocha v'haftocha? He's giving them $1 because they're going down on shlichus mitzvah. They're going to Mitzrayim. He's giving them $1, and he's saying brocha v'atzlocha. Or is he davening to the Eibusha? Which one is he doing? Is he doing this one or that one? One kasha. Another kasha is, why is Yaakov Avinu davening? Why shouldn't they daven? If I'm going on a road. So who says tefillah saderech? I say tefillah, you say tefillah saderech. You give me $1, shlichus mitzvah. You say bracha v'atzlocha. But who says tefillah saderech? I say tefillah saderech if I'm traveling. Chazal say yofer tefillah sachoyla. The person who has the issue, he should daven. Why is Yaakov Avinu davening? Why aren't they davening? What, they're not from a Yidden? They don't daven? And another shaila, which is a simpler shaila. When, till now, every time there is a danger, the first thing is tefillah. When the shluchim come back and tell Yaakov that Esav is coming with 400 men, the first thing he does, he davens to the Eibishter. Then, even though it says he prepared himself for three things, but in actuality, when he found out that the danger is strong, the first thing he does is tefillah. And that makes sense. The first thing a yid does, what's the first thing in Ashkofa that a yid should do when a yid is in danger? Daven to the Eibishter. Then you have to do b'derech hateva. So you have to put on your jacket, and you have to go to the poritz and to the kozak or to whoever it is in Golus, who is the sheikh, and you talk to him and you give him a little chabar, or you give him a couple of rubles, and that's the way it works. With Yaakov and Esav always, you give him a little bit of mincha shlucha. When you smear the grease makes the wheels turn. And that's it. That's the way it was working for 2,000 years, right? But what's the first thing is? Not the shmir, not the chabar, the tefillah. And then you have to have a mincha. And that's the chayrat of a pashut. And every story in the Torah is that way. What happened over here, that it's a strange lashon in Rashi. Rashi says like this, Me'ata, now that you have everything, now you got everything set. Oh, one more little thing. You forgot your the Crocs to put into your bag. Like a guy's traveling for a couple of days at business trip. He's walking out his way. So, up. You forgot your jacket. That's what it sounds like in Rashi. You're missing nothing. Everything is good. You have a gift. You got your money. Everything is good. You got your passport. Your documents are straight. One more thing. Don't forget. We got to do tefillah. It's funny. It's a strange thing. What kind of lotion is this? So the nakuda of the sicha is a very sweet sicha, and I just want to get to the nakuda of the sicha. The truth is that it says that a question could be asked the other way around. When a person is at tzorah, he has to daven. What kind of tzorah do they have here? According to the Shvatim, there's no tzorah. Yaakov Avinu is having conversation with Yehuda. Yehuda says, if you didn't make us crazy, we could have gone to Egypt twice, come there and back and buy the food. That's nothing. The guy has to see his brother, and let's bring him again. So what's the davening here? What's the davening over here? So the emes is like this. The emes is like this. According to the brothers of Yosef, the way they made it sound, there was nothing happening here. It was a routine thing. The guy asked questions. They said they have two brothers. One is missing and one is living in Israel. He said, how come all of you come and that one didn't come? I want to see him. I want to see if you're telling me the truth. No big deal. Let's bring him. We'll go. We'll buy. We'll come. We'll go. No big deal. So now the truth is, we know, and they can't tell this to Yaakov Avinu. When they were standing in front of Yosef, they said, Aval Hashem emanachnu. They started to feel terrible. Because we saw Tzoras Achinu B'schanan Aleinu V'lo Shamanu. They started doing tshuva. They realized that there's something's going on. There's a Yad Hashem going on. But they didn't want to say anything to Yaakov. To Yaakov they say, what's the big deal? This guy is asking everyone questions. He asked us a question. He said, we're 12 brothers. Only one didn't come. He says he's curious. Why would one guy didn't come? 10 guys come. Why wouldn't 11 come? He wants to see if we're saying the truth. He wants to test us. No big deal. Why don't we come with Binyamin? We take our camels. We go down to Mitzrayim. We come back. It's no big deal. Yaakov Avinu had a feeling that there is a big deal here. Yaakov Avinu had a feeling there is a big deal here. He had a Pesaruach HaKodesh here that there's, on the one hand, the truth is that this voyage was going to end up Redu Shama, that they're going to end up being in, because of this voyage, stuck in Egypt for 210 years. On the one hand. On the other hand, from this voyage is going to come a big Yeshua Vatzola, that he's going to find his son. He was mourning for 22 years. Big things are about to happen, and Yaakov Avinu had a feeling. But what should he say to his sons? He said, Kasher shachalti shacholti. It means he suspected that something is not
kosher.
Something is not kosher. That's why, obviously, it couldn't have been that this was a brocha v'haftocha. He couldn't promise them it'll be good, because if he says kasher shachalti shacholti, that means it's a feeling of despair. Obviously, it wasn't a brocha. So what was it? Rashi says it was a tefillah. But But what was the tefillah? They said we don't need a special tefillah. What do we need a tefillah for? Special? There's no tzara here. When there's a tzara, we'll daven. There's no tzara. Yaakov Avinu said to his sons, listen, I want you to know something, my boys. Even if you're right that there is no tzara, ayid, everything we do, we have to ask the Rebbeinu Shalom with tefillah. It looks like a little procedure, garnished, it's a routine procedure, a Kleinigkeit, a band-aid.
Small surgery.
The doctor say it's nothing. Standard procedure, they love to call it. Standard. Standard means that you shouldn't be scared. Let us do our business in and out and Gendik, and we can bill the insurance and drainishting up. Right? Standard procedure. So a Yid knows that it's not true. Because Yaakov Avinu tells his sons, Emes Taka, you think it's standard procedure. You went down to Onuts on Avenue J, you took botnim, shkedim, you made a nice basket, you wrapped it up, you're going to bring a mincha to the Adoinei Oretz. Very nice. You should know, you think everything is done? You should know it's not done. Ma'atam einam chaserim klum taka, you're not missing anything. It's standard, everything is good. Your passport is ready, the money is ready. You know how they say when you're traveling, you look at your suitcase, after everything is packed, put half the clothing and double the money. Heinte does not negate, you just need a piece of plastic. So it was in those days when you travel, you had to go, especially Europe, you know, every border you had to go and change. By the time you got to the fifth border, you know, the dollar was worth 50 cents. Yeah.
You said that he had a feeling that he had Ruach
HaKodesh.
But I thought because of his sadness, it went away from him.
Right. So the Golo, he didn't have clear vision.
Got it.
He had a feeling. It was like, he sort of like Chazal say, Niba v'lo yoda my Niba. He had Nevuah, but he didn't have clarity in it. But he said things that turned out to later be true.
Thank you.
By Shever,
right.
Shivru lanu Shever, Rashi said Yitnaba v'lo yada ma yitnaba.
Exactly.
Start getting
Exactly. Exactly. So, Oy Bazoi, he's telling his sons, don't tell me it's standard procedure. I want to tell you something, a chidush. That even though it doesn't look too like a tzora, every time a Yid does something, he has to daven to the Eibishter. That answers all the questions. The question was, is it a bracha or is it a tefillah? It was a tefillah. It couldn't have been a bracha because it's a tefillah. Because we see that he said afterwards, kasher shecholti shecholti. That means it didn't have absolute clarity. It was a tefillah. But the tefillah was that the Eibusha should help, that the Eibusha should say enough to my tzoros, and the Eibusha should give an abundance of rachamim, and therefore the result will be that Hashem yiten lochem, He's going to give you an incredible hatzlocha, and you're going to find Yosef, and you'll bring back Yosef and Binyamin, which was sort of a nevuah. But the nevuah was only as a result of the tefillah. He didn't have it clear in his mind that that's the way it's going to be. He said a tefillah to the Eibishter. Even though usually when a tefillah is used, and here he uses the loshon of a bracha, but the bracha, he's daven to the Eibishter, and he said the Eibishter should help, that the Eibishter should make v'kel shada yiten lachem. The result of the tefillah is that the Eibishter should give you. And why did he daven and not they daven? Because they claimed that they don't have to daven. They claimed it was standard. It was no big deal. So why should they daven? He davened, not they davened. And now we understand why wasn't the tefillah the first thing. Again, they thought that there's no big deal here. There's no Eis Tzara. When Yaakov was going Keneged Esav, and he heard that Esav is coming with Arba Meis Ish Imoi, so the first thing he did was tefillah, because it was Eis Tzara. When there's Eis Tzara, the first thing is tefillah. But there's no Eis Tzara. They say it's no big deal. We're going for a standard business procedure. It's a regular Monday morning. It's a Monday morning, and we're going to Manhattan. We always take the Q train. What's the big deal? Yosef Tzaddik is in the Mitzrayim, Binyamin is going. He has a feeling. He says, no, it's not true. When a Yid goes, even if it's standard procedure, you have to daven to the Eibishter. So therefore, it flows. Therefore, now we answer all three kashas. Again, this was really a tefillah. It was not a bracha. But the tefillah was that the Eibusha should help, that from this tefillah should be neskabel, and the Eibusha should give a bracha. And the second thing is he davened not them because they thought they don't need to daven. There's no Yitzhara. But Yaakov Avinu said to them, it's not true. Oyid always has to daven to the Eibishter.
Why did Yaakov Avinu choose Kel Shakai as a name?
Because always brachas come with Kel Shakai. We see in Tanakh, like V'yitin L'cho, and all the brachas that a bracha, usually tefillah is Yud Kei Vav Ken Elokim. And brachas always Kel Shakai. Why? This parshas, Kel is Chesed, Kel is, according to some opinions, the first one of the 13 Midas HaRachamim. Shakai is like Rashi says over here, Poshta Pshat, that there is Bli Gvul Rachamim of the Eibishter, Bli Gvul Yochelos of the Eibishter to give. That's why that's the usual. But in Tanakh we see that always Loshen. Oh, that's a good, very good, exactly. Okay. It's Tzviras HaYesod. Yesod is the Mashpiyah. So good.
Also, there's a club when you send somebody, something happened to the person who you sent. Who is Chayiv?
You're Achrayis. So Achrayis. That's why Yaakov Avinu.
Even though they don't need to daven, but Yaakov says, 1 second, it's my responsibility.
Very shame. Okay.
And how come Yosef did not say to the brother in time, go bring me Yosef? To see what they feel. How we know they make tshuva already? They didn't even bother to say that. He didn't trick them by saying, "Go give me Yosef."
No, but he tried them out. He said,
he told them when they says, 1 second, Hashem Alachnu, oh, okay, they did tshuva. Keep my mouth shut. Don't say anything about Yosef.
Before we get to the Iron Avodas Hashem, the Kfar Chabad has published an incredible story. There's a Yid, Reb Tzvi Hirsch Magid, Reb Hirschl. He was a Magid Shir in Yerushalayim in a shul called Darkei Moshe. He was a kosher Vishnetz Chosid. He was Ad Kedei Kach. He was a Talmid Chochem when he was a child, and the son of the Vishnetz Rebbe, the Sheidas Menachem, the Vishiv Tzadik, came to the town, and the boy was before Bar Mitzvah. He said, "Where's that town? They were poor people. They would come in the morning. They'd bring some schnapps and a lekach to the shul. They'd say l'chaim, and that was it." He said, "This boy is an ilui. You just that's such a bar mitzvah." He insisted that they make a asudas mitzvah. And when he grew up, the Sheidas Menachem gave him a heter eroah. It was a yidat Baal Tzura, and Nebuch. He had a ben Yochid. And 2 children. One Nebuch was killed in an accident. Another way, he had 1 son, and he was a descendant of Rabbi Yitzchak Baditchever. Rabbi Yitzchak had a son-in-law, a Hershel Dorma, and he was named after his Zayda. And his saddest son, he named Levi Yitzchak after the descendants of Rabbi Yitzchak Baditchever. So, 1941, the Nazis came into Romania, and they had plenty of collaboration, Rahman al-Islam, and immediately there were Rahman al-Islam was geschacht 160,000 Jews, and then they said Basarab is going to be Judenrein, and they chased the Yidden away. And in the transit, the Rahman al-Islam, he was running with his son, and Rahman al-Islam...
So I'm sorry, what was the name of this Yid who you say was later a Magid Shir?
His name was Reb Tzvi Hirsch Magid.
Tzvi Hirsch Magid.
That's a mishpach in Eretz Yisrael.
Magid.
Yeah. The Einiklach. A lot of them are Einiklach, but Reb Yitzchak Baditchever, Magid. He never lost his son. There was a hoo-ha. Rahman al-Islam lost his son. He was looking for his son. After the war, he wrote letters to this organization, that organization. It seemed that his son was killed. But he came to Eretz Yisrael, and he always said that the Rashi says in the story of Yosef, Hatzadik, that Gzeira, that there's a Gzeira from the Eibishter that you forget about a dead person. He said, I can't forget about my son. I can't forget about my son. It's the chasima that my son is alive. And this Kol Yomov, he cried and he cried for his son. He said, just like Yosef Atzadik over here said, Kasher Shachalti Shacholti. He said that Rashi says that Zedem and Ames Shishtakech Ma'alev Lo Elachai. I can't forget my son. My son must be alive, but he wasn't around. He's lost a 6-year-old boy. How are you going to find him? So it was in the 60s, and Sachava told him about the Lubavitcher Rebbe. Why don't you write a letter to the Rebbe? He wrote a letter to the Rebbe. He said, we're mashpocha, dachim chatonim for Rabbi Yitzchak Baditchever. And he wrote in Mikatz his history, and he said about his son. He asked the Rebbe Broch and Eitzah to find his son. Well, it's already many years after the war, but he's still looking for his son. He got back a standard, the little. He finds in his in a post box. He finds a little card, a letter. They had those, the little letters from the Rebbe, the standard thing from the Rebbe's name, and the Asker, the Mechtov and Eskabel Mechtov, Asker Alatzian, Esrotzen. They said, I'm going to mention him at the Tzion of my father-in-law, Rebbe's Heilige Chasim. It's a small letter, a few words. At the bottom, the Rebbe added sort of 3-4 words with his pen. Kedai lachapes Honolulu.
What?
Kedai lachapes Honolulu.
It's good to look for him.
It's kedai to look in Honolulu.
You never heard of him.
So, Mikatz,
How many years later?
years.
In the 60s.
The 60s, 15, 20 years later. 16 years later. So, Mikatz,
Scary.
the guy went to Honolulu.
Where's he going to look? Where's he going to look?
Gesucht and gesucht and gesucht and gesucht. The bottom line is he found his son. He found his son. The bottom line is he found his son. His son was not a 6-year-old Boychik anymore. This guy, his name was Joe, and he had a PhD, and he was a professor. And he knew zero close. He knew he was a Yid. The reunion was Ein L'Shaya. He was thrilled to meet his father again, but Torah mitzvahs had given garnished. Mikatz said he worked with his son, and he worked with his son. His son didn't become a Vishnitz, a Chassid, and didn't move with him to Yerushalayim, but he became a Shomer Torah mitzvahs. Married a Jewish girl. They had a boy. The first son they named Menachem Mendel for the Lubavitcher Rebbe. So this is the story here. It seems like it's a standard thing. A standard thing. Kumatz again. They said we're going down. We're just going to buy a little bit of food, but Yaakov Avinu tells them it's not true. It's not a standard thing. He says, I have a feeling big things are happening. I have a feeling that you should know V'kel Shaddai Yitin Lechem Rachamim Sheyomer L'Tzoros Dai. There'll be enough of my tzoros. V'shilach Lechem Esachichem Acher V'yez Ben Yomin. He said in a nevuah that Yosef will be found as well. He said L'Daitchem, that you think that it's standard procedure. Dafanoich Davenen. The Rebbe says we see from this a moedik musar haskel. Person says, Baruch Hashem, life is good. I come to davening. I have to be macham Pirush Hamilas, right? We see in the Yosef Marsov got these beautiful little pamphlets for the event that we made. Look, the Verbrengen for Yutas Kislev, documents that they found 20 years ago in Russian archives. The Alter Rebbe wrote answers for all the questions that the Russian government asked him. And they said, what's the whole thing with what's the chassidus business? The Alter Rebbe said, there's no big deal. He said, people have a hard time when they daven. They're inspired. But the rest of the day, the inspiration doesn't carry over. So I try to help them to figure out. And the Alter Rebbe says, besides, a person davens, he talks to God. It's not befitting when a person is talking to God that his mind is wandering all over the globe. He's talking and the Vaila's head is somewhere else. So I'm helping people out of daven. That's it. I'm not doing. This is the biggest thing. What else is the bigger in the world? So a person starts davening and he says, "What do I need?" A person says, "What do I need? I'm Baruch Hashem. I'm a big chochem. a very wise man. Shabbos, you say, the Almanu Chosam, they're asking the Ritzeinu v'Menu Choseinu. Baruch Hashem, I have a good cholent, I have a good kugel, things are good. Like the brother said to the father, Einechem Chasedim Klum, Einenu Chasedim Klum, we're not missing anything. You say we're missing, we're not missing anything. We're not missing anything. So the first thing we have to know is that we are missing. We are missing. We say, what do you mean? Samech B'chalka is a very big thing. The Rebbe says, a moide de kavod from Reb Chaim Falaji. Reb Chaim Falaji said that it says in the Pasuk that Shamayim Mimal Val Oretz Mitoches. He said, depends what you're looking at. Ala Oretz, if you're looking for things in Oretz, for Gashmi's things, for money, for materialistic stuff, Mitoches. Look at the Yid that has the least and compare how much you have and how much that Yid have. Shemayim, we're talking about heavenly things. Mimal, look at the Yid that has the most Midas Toivus, and look how much Midas Toivus I have, how much he has, and start asking the Rebbeinu Shalom to help you climb up. So that's Vridik Rebbe used to say, what's Alam? Alam doesn't mean someone that learned when he was in yeshiva. Alam means a Yid that learns now. So that's what the Reb Chaim Falaji said. That it's Bron Hayom Yom. That a person when Samech B'chelkoi is Begashmis is a great midah, but Baruchni is a terrible thing. A person always has to look to people that are doing better than me. I have to look at someone who's better than me, and then see that I think that Klum Cheseidim, I'm not missing anything. And I have to realize that it's not true. I'm kosher v'kosher. And that's why Chazal say, Eizo chochem aloymed mikol odom. Because I could learn, in Avodas Hashem, I could learn mikol odom from every Yid. The Mishnah is saying, if I come into a Beis Medrash, and there's 100 men there, and I can learn of 99, one person I can't learn from him, so I'm not a chochem. I'm not a chochem, because the Chazal say, Eizo chochem aloymed mikol odom. So, for sure, there's plenty of Midas Tovas to look up for every Yid. B'Shamayim Mimal, and once I look B'Shamayim Mimal, I look Ruchnis thing Mimal, I see that this Taina that Yitzhak always likes to come to us and tell us, we're not missing anything, we're good. So the answer is no. Beruchnis, we always have to see how we're missing. We still have places to climb. And we have to ask the Rebbeinu Shalom with full of kavana. The Eibusha should give us Chayin L'Adam Das. The Eibusha should give us the Refo'enu and Shema Koleinu. That the Eibusha should give us. That's the whole Nakuda that we're learning here from Yaakovinu. Yaakovinu says Tefillah is not only when it comes to Eis Tzora. On a good day, a Wednesday morning, Monday morning, tomorrow morning with Daven Shachris, tonight with Daven Ma'ariv, we shouldn't think, Eino Chasedim Klum, like Yaakovinu's son said, we're not missing anything, everything is good, everything is standard. No, we have to look, like Reb Chaim Falaji said, we have to look B'Shamayim Mimal. We have to compare ourselves to every other Yid and see all the good midas that they have, and then we should have a chukka to get there, and then we should say with the Moli Kavona, we should say Ata Choynen, U'Shma Keleinu, Refo'enu, that the Eibusha should give us, that we should be able to grow and grow Beruchnis.
So you're allowed to jealous if someone has mitzvot, chasodim.
Like Rachel, right? Rachel was jealous in the Ma'asim Tovim. So the Eibusha is helfen that just like in the days of Yaakov Avinu, that this brought that there should be that the best years of Yaakov Avinu, that also by us, that through our tefillah we should always bet nalagut azachen, nagula protis, nagula krolis, maklal Yisrael, nagula amitas ashlema. We're going from Chanukah, we're going from Yutas Kislev which is Gula to Chanukah Gula. From Chanukah Gula we should jump to the Gula amitas ashlema, the Mashiach Tzidkenu.